welcome to What Are You Reading, a podcast with the Public Library of Mount Vernon in Knox County. I'm Christy.
And I'm Katie.
And this month we decided to do something a little fun for the holidays that are coming up. Mm-hmm. And the podcast is going up the Monday before Thanksgiving. So we thought, you know what, why don't we do a baked treat? Mm-hmm. And we hadn't done a cookbook in a while. So Katie and I both started just throwing ideas back and forth for what cookbooks we wanted. And we got a really big chuckle out of the name of this one. Mm-hmm. It's adorable. It is called Butter Celebrates by Rosie Dakin. And we actually had a couple copies in our system. So this is also great for those of you that are watching or listening that want to stop in and maybe, a couple of you in the family want to do a recipe you don't want to share, you can actually come and get your own copy. Mm-hmm. So not only is butter amazing in all forms, because I actually did a little bit of tweaking. I know Katie did a little bit of tweaking. We'll get into that a little later. Mm-hmm. But this cookbook is delicious recipes for special occasions. So it is by holiday. So you can kind of flip through and decide what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Katie and I decided to do Thanksgiving recipes. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty fun.
Yes. The even just to look at the book it's gorgeous. There's all color photographs, which I know that's your prerequisite for any cookbook. Absolutely. And butter, these don't have an inordinate amount of butter in them. Yeah. These recipes are all from Butter Baked Goods in Vancouver. So it's like the name of the shop. Yes. So, and one of the things that I really liked about this one was they included a dog's birthday party. Oh, so cute. So you can even make some treats for your furry little buddies. And they were adorable. And Katie's totally right. I complain about this all the time. If there's not a picture, I'm probably not going to check it out. That's just personally because I like to see what it's supposed to look like and then compare how hideous mine looks to it, just, for fun. But yours turned out so good. I mean, it was a labor of love. I don't think I've mentioned it in the podcast before, but I'm gluten-free. Mm-hmm. So these recipes are not gluten-free, but I used, rather than wheat flour, I used the 1-to-1 gluten-free, which they turned out, they were a lot more crumbly than I think they were supposed to be. So the actual rolling them out, because they're leaf cutouts. It's okay. And I just put sugar, which is fine. That didn't happen. No, you saw nothing. So, and I, they asked, you're supposed to roll them out to 1/4 inch. Well, I am not good at eyeballing that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, me either. So I need to get one of those rubber bands that go on your rolling pin. Oh. Although I found it a lot easier when I was low on dough to actually just use my hands, because otherwise every time I rolled them, they were like, we're gonna break apart. So mine didn't make as many as the recipe said, but I think between the using a different flour and not knowing what 1/4 inch was. I think they turned out awesome. So one of them did not survive the journey to work this morning. Yes, it broke, so we had to eat it. I mean, what else were we supposed to do? Oh, and my recipe is actually called Fallen Leaf Spice Cookies. So cute. So, and they use it uses baking powder. So instead of going out like baking soda does, it just goes up. So, that's what made it kind of fluffy. Yeah. So you can use the really intricate cookie cutters if you wanted to. That's really cool. So, it did have some royal icing to do the veins of the leaves, but I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. Which is fine. I mean, that's the great thing about it. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, and the cool thing about these too is you put the sugar on before you bake them. That's so neat. So you just dump it all on, stick it in the oven, and when it comes out, you're done, unless you want to get a little more fancy with your leaves.
Right. And, I think it's really cool that you mentioned that this is based off of an actual bakery, because I really did get that bakery quality taste from those this morning. Yes. And those are little secrets that I think that we, as like home bakers might not think to do, like baking it with the sugar on it already. Because I think that really did make it feel like I just bought that from the bake shop this morning, and they're super good. I can attest to that. So.
Yeah. And they have a lot less sugar than you would expect them to be.
They taste like they have so much, like it's not overly sugary, but they taste like there's a good amount
like
in
cookies.
There. Yes, 100%. And I wouldn't have even noticed that there was, a gluten-free option that was used in it. And you were able to sub that in pretty easily.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. There were a couple of things that I would do differently, just because gluten-free flour does not behave the same way.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was a learning experience, but they still turned out good.
Yeah,
so
they still taste awesome.
Yeah. So, and you said you tweaked yours as well.
I did. So I think that's something we really wanted to point out, because this cookbook has so many awesome options of things, from macarons to layer cakes to jelly-filled donuts, like all kinds of just amazing treats. But I decided to tweak mine because I was vegan in the past and have decided to revisit that again. And so my recipe, and these cookbooks are really cool. I should have mentioned that to you. So each one of the cookbooks has a beautiful ribbon in it that you can use as a bookmark to save your place. So I was able to save my spot, and I made an apple spice layer cake. And for those of you at home, there's like this beautiful picture of this cake on this pedestal, and it looks amazing. Okay, so I made cupcakes because it's just super easy for me. I have the cupcake pans at home, and this one did have a cream cheese frosting on it. And I decided instead to make this a vegan cupcake with a vegan icing. So what I did was create the the apple spice layer cake, just using pastry flour, ground cinnamon, baking soda, baking powder, all of that good stuff. It did call for vegetable oil, so instead of that, I did use some like applesauce to kind of just, get that consistency without getting all of that oil. Because that just was not going to be my thing. But vanilla, there really wasn't a lot I had to tweak. So what I really did change was the icing, because the cake itself is vegan friendly. So I just took a little bit out of it that would, make it a little heavy. And I think they turned out awesome. I decided to do a German chocolate icing on these because I have made spice cakes in the past. And I feel like for me personally, the pecan and that coconut and just that warmness of a German chocolate frosting really complements the cake itself. So these were pretty quick and simple to do, just throwing together your ingredients. I don't have a stand mixer or anything like that, so this was just good old Chrissy standing in her kitchen with a whisk, just being like, let's make this work, and it turned out just fine. Now, they are a little heavy because of the applesauce. That kind of makes them a little bit more dense and a little bit more moist. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. So it's totally up to you. If you want to use your oils, that's totally cool too, and absolutely fine. I was just trying to keep it as clean as I possibly could, minus all of the sugar that is in here. So there's a lot of sugar in these. But not in her recipe, but in my frosting. So overall, I think that this was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I always love when we do these. Like once a year, we try to do like a cookbook,
or a craft book or something that gets our hands dirty.
Exactly. And this is something that like anybody could kind of throw together. Katie and I both made these last night after we got off work, after we got home, all of that stuff, and then came into work this morning. So if you're on a time crunch or, you're getting ready for the holidays and you're making 8 billion things, but oh no, I forgot that, Aunt Margaret already has this and now I need to pivot. I think that it might seem a little daunting because it's a real bake shop cookbook, but it's very accessible.
Yes, and one of my pet peeves about cookbooks is when they have a lot of weird ingredients.
Yes.
that I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to get this.
Oh, yeah.
So at least the recipes that I looked at, very basic.
Yeah.
Flour, sugar, butter.
Absolutely.
That kind of stuff. So I didn't have to go like, now where is that?
Yes. I think a lot of this was technique.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that really interesting. She really gives you like some insight into, the baking world and how she makes these things. And I think that's really exciting. And I loved that it was holiday themed. So, that's kind of what we were going for. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up and New Year's and Hanukkah and all of these wonderful things. Mm-hmm. So what better way to celebrate than, by bringing something really cool to your function, or just to eat at home on the couch with your hot cup of tea after a long day of celebrating.
Yep. It goes from Valentine's Day to New Year's. So I mean it's everything. You got it covered.
Yeah. Super, super fun. I always love this one. Look forward to doing it every year. And now we get to dig into these. So we're pretty excited.
We've had to stare at them all day.
We did. It's so hard, and I did shove one onto a staff member this morning, and he did not make a face. So I think they turned out okay.
Yes. And I gave some to my husband last night, and he is still fine.
He survived.
Yes.
No arsenic this time.
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. Join us next month. We'll wrap up the year of another awesome year of podcasting. And so check us out soon. We'll be back in December with something fun. And like, comment, share, stop in, grab a copy of Butter Celebrates by Rosie Dakin. You won't be sad about that. It's awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.